traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of...
Hi guys, Colin here, and today I feel like getting in the zone. No, not the auto zone, the Twilight Zone. Yes, one of the all-time greatest television science fiction horror shows, and I thought I'd take a time today and spotlight an episode that has always stuck with me since I was a kid, and that is Season 3, Episode 24, To Serve Man, all the way back from 1962. Now, if you haven't seen this particular episode, if somehow you don't know the incredibly famous twist ending to this episode, I highly urge you to shut this video off. It'll still be here, and go watch the episode fresh. I mean, that's a rare opportunity in today's day and age when twist endings are known by pretty much everyone all the time. So go seek this one out, because from here on, there'll be spoilers. And frankly, this is, a 50-year-old episode that's been parodied and spoofed and brought up in just about everything. So, really, I feel like if you don't already know what this episode's about and what the ending is, that is surprising. In this episode, Richard Kiel, actor who famously played the villain Jaws from the James Bond franchise, plays a Kanamit, a giant alien who comes down in stock footage from the day the Earth stood still's spaceship landing, approaches the UN and says in a voiceover that we're your friends and we're here to bring peace and prosperity to the planet Earth and all the humans, and we're great and yada yada yada. The military of course doesn't really believe this guy, so they steal one of his books. Apparently he just leaves his book sitting on the UN and wanders off without it. And they hire a guy played by Lloyd Bochner and his assistant played by Susan Cummings to translate the book. He's a cryptographer, which is ludicrous, but hey, you got to just roll with it. Eventually, they find out that the book is entitled To Serve Man, and everybody gets real excited. Yeah, they're here to serve us. Amazing. How cool is this? The Kanamits start an exchange program with Earth where people can get on their spaceships and go to the Kanamit homeworld for, because it's a paradise or whatever. And the famous scene at the very end when Lloyd's about to get on the ship and his assistant comes running up and goes, "Don't get on that ship. To serve man. I've translated the rest. It's a cookbook." And oh no, they're not going to really serve us. They're going to serve us for dinner. I gotta say, this episode, the whole episode, if I could give it 2 ratings, I give the episode itself like a C rating. It's not very good, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But that twist ending gets an A+++. Great twist ending. I mean, you just kind of have to roll with it because the episode makes no sense. An alien book with a language that's way more complex than anything, and how could they ever translate that? Why would they give it to a cryptographer instead of like a linguistics expert? How could she translate the title of the book and then not be able to translate the rest of it immediately? Yeah, little nutty, but still, you just got to roll with it because that ending is just what a great twist. It's been parodied in everything, famously on The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, the very first one. Futurama had an episode with it. If you watch The Naked Gun 2.5, which I urge you to do as soon as this video is over, because it's a great movie. During the scene when there's all kind of chaos and everybody's going crazy in the ballroom, they actually got Lloyd Bochner to come back and he goes, "It's a cookbook, it's a cookbook." So really fun stuff. This is one of those Twilight Zone endings that has really hit pop culture hard, and I am virtually certain that everybody knows this ending already. So let's talk a little bit about why I think the episode itself is like a C episode. I gotta say, ton of stock footage in this movie. Or in this show. The spaceship landing in the beginning is just taken from the day the Earth stood still. When the spaceship takes off at the end, it's the amazing Ray Harryhausen ships from Earth versus the Flying Saucers, which looks awesome. Those are the saucers I'm drawing in the background there. I gotta say, there's stock footage of the UN assembled. They didn't actually build their own UN. And when they did build their own UN for like one little scene, it's just some dudes at a desk in front of a curtain, and it looks kind of bad, gotta say. They did this one on the cheap. I have to say, though, that Richard Keel, even though he's not allowed to speak in this, great look for him with that giant goofy forehead attached. And the asymmetrical collar they give his robes actually adds a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of flair to it. Otherwise, he's just a big dude in a robe. Gotta look out, too, for the one scene where they hook him up to a lie detector test, because that works on aliens, I guess. You could see clearly he's wearing tinfoil shoes, which I think is a great touch. They say that the Kanamits are 9 feet tall and 350 some pounds. Richard Keel, of course, was not that tall, but he does have a nice, big, imposing look to him. Kind of a kind face, though, as well. So it's a really odd look. Now, he plays all of the different Kanamits. I guess they look all exactly alike. The one I'm drawing here has the small beard, and that's the one that talks to the UN delegation there. Also, the lettering on the book, which I'm going to be putting in here with the white paint pen near the end. It's a cool little lettering. I'd love to get a prop replica of this book. I could probably just make one myself, but I think it would make for a cool sketchbook with that black cover and the To Serve Man on there. Pretty neat stuff. Now, I had the privilege and the pleasure to actually meet Richard Keel before he died. This was in 2012 or 13, and my dad and I went to the Monster Bash, one of the conventions I regularly do. Turns out that for years, there's been a classic monster movie convention in my backyard. So in 2013, I said, man, I got to get out there for this. And yeah, Rich Keel was there. Incredibly nice guy, incredibly big guy. I mean, I got some beefy old bear paws. People tell me I'm a big guy. But when I shook his hand, my hand virtually disappeared into his. They were so big. I got an autograph of him as Jaws for my father-in-law. He's a big James Bond fan. And still on the 8x10 glossy, you can see Rich Keel's thumbprint, which is enormous. His thumbprint is probably the size of my entire thumb and then some. Big dude, but incredibly gracious, incredibly nice, and I was glad to have that opportunity to meet him before his passing. So very cool episode, a lot of fun. Like I said, that twist ending just absolutely nails it. When I was a kid and saw this episode, it stuck with me. Even though as a kid, that's a perfect time to watch this, because you don't think about how do they translate the book or anything. It just works. So very fun. I'm glad to be in the Twilight Zone right now, and I hope you guys are as well. The scan's up now, and I think it looks pretty cool. Love doing these black and white drawings and just having fun with that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's it for me today, guys. Join me on the next one. We'll do something else fun. This was great to just get back to doing some random basics and getting ready for convention season, which is coming up very, very soon for me. So until the next one, this is Colin, and I'll see you guys later. Good night.
Mr. Chambers! Mr. Chambers! Don't get on that ship! The rest of the book, To Serve Man, it's a cookbook!